A warm welcome to everyone and Namaste. So Vedic scripture is filled with wisdom. Wisdom about relationship, management, leadership, art of parenting, education, arts and so on. It is filled with wisdom and pearls of wisdom. So this is our humble attempt to bring those pearls of wisdom to all of you. And today we will begin with relationship lessons from Ramayana. Invite and welcome all of you to this journey. So we will begin about discussing relationship lessons from Ramayana. Many times you might have encountered situations where people say, I don't believe in Ram, I don't believe in Ramayana. So why should I hear or read about Ramayana? We should never accept anything blindly. It is a very good argument, but we have a counter argument to that. Yes, it is 100% true that we should not accept anything blindly. At the same time, we should not reject anything blindly also. So my humble request to all of you is, yes, even if you don't believe Ram, even if you don't believe Ramayana, Mahabharata, it is okay. At least read this literature as a storybook or as a novel, and please do not miss the pearls of wisdom available in this beautiful and amazing literature that is Ramayana. So now let us explore what is there inside Ramayana and try to learn something from this great literature. So today we will begin relationships and relationship lessons from Ramayana. So before I begin, so let me give you a brief introduction about Ramayana. So Ramayana has 7 kandas, all of us we are aware about it, and there is Balakanda, Ayodhya Kanda, Aranya Kanda, Kishkinda Kanda, Sundara Kanda, Yuddha Kanda and Uttara Kanda. Now scriptures can be categorized into different levels. How? So scriptures can be categorized under 4 categories. In the first category we call it as it is Kavya. So what is Kavya? Kavya is a literature which is filled with emotions, filled with Nava Rasas. So whenever you read Kavya, you cry, you laugh and you feel different varieties of emotions, and that is Kavya, filled with emotions and Nava Rasas. And there is Shastra, and Shastra are like Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads. And what are the examples for Kavya? It is Kalidasa's authored Abhignana Shakuntala, Nala Damayanti. And when we talk about Shastra, what is Shastra? It is pure philosophy. Pure philosophy explained with logic. And for your information, I would like to tell you that Shastras are basically for intellectuals who are very logical people. And in this creation, we can say 5% of the people are very intellectual. And they are not eager to have any emotions in their life. Rather, they want everything to be understood in a very logical way. So Shastras are meant for them. It is just like in science we say E is equal to mc square. And people who are scientists, they feel ecstatic whenever they see this formula. But people, even though they are intellectuals, but they can't just understand or enjoy Shastras because it is pure philosophy and pure logic. So then the third category of scriptures is Shastra Kavya. What is Shastra Kavya? Shastra Kavya means Shastra is prominent, but the same Shastra is given in the format of Kavya. So I can give you an example as Puranas, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. So here the philosophy or Shastra is given, but in the form of poetry or Kavya, filled with emotions. So then it becomes easy for people to understand the Shastra or philosophy. Then the fourth category is Kavya Shastra. Here Kavya is predominant and Shastra is explained using Kavya. And in that, the famous is Ramayana.